What's going on, guys? What a day. What an absolute amazing day of football. Now, this channel is now all going to be about Wrexham. Because let's be honest, Let's look at today's game then. So we played Dorking at home, and I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Dorking. I really like them. I really like Mark White. I think he's absolutely amazing. I think what he's done for Dorking, the fact that he's owner and manager, I think is incredible. But for a team that hasn't scored an away goal, I think, since December, I wasn't expecting much of them today. I thought they might be able to give Wrexham a run for their money, but fair play to Dorking Wanderers. They came to the racecourse ground. They tried to play football. And instead of just trying to waste time and con the ref into little decisions, they came and they tried to play football. And for the first 10 minutes or so, they definitely had the better of it. I am just bringing up the statistics from the game here. But what is obviously crucial to bear in mind, I said the first 10 minutes there that Dorking had, and Dorking were absolutely amazing for 10 minutes. They played really good football. They looked dangerous. The Cleworth was struggling early on. I thought Mendy looked a little bit out of sorts early on in the game and struggled to kind of impose himself. But as the game went on, and shortly after the 10-minute mark, when Elliot Lee scored what can only be described as an absolute wonder goal, we just pushed on from there, and I thought we looked a lot better. Let's have a look at that goal then. I mean, absolutely amazing. He's got that in his bag. He scored a similar goal against Farnborough back in the FA Cup, and what a goal it was. But this goal was special. Edge of the area, 25 yards out, roughly, and he puts it right into the top corner. There is not a goalkeeper in the National League, and probably League Two, that is saving that effort. It was that good. And then we started to dictate the play a little bit more. We had more and more chances. I think shortly before that, Elliot Lee had hit the bar. Paul Mullin had rifled across into the box on the volley as well, and Elliot Lee got his head onto it. So there were signs before the goal came that the goal was coming. Mullin's goal was good. Cut inside on his left foot and calmly put the ball into the bottom corner. And then, obviously, big Sam Dolby. I cannot praise this guy enough. When he first came in, I wasn't impressed. You know, I really thought he wasn't the man. He wasn't the right third choice. He wasn't the right third striker. I thought it was a big step down from Palmer to him, because Mullin's obviously number one. Let's be honest. Paul Mullin is number one for Wrexham. There is nobody. He is the player. Okay, if we were looking at American franchises for our American supporters, he is the franchise player. He is your quarterback. You know, nobody's replacing that franchise player. Nobody's replacing that quarterback. Then you've got Ollie Palmer. Ollie Palmer is your star wide receiver. I'm doing this in American franchise, but he is obviously he's your second striker. And then I always thought it was a big step down from Palmer to Dolby. That was the replacement for me is Ollie Palmer would go out for Sam Dolby. And lately, I think ever since the Coventry game, because Dolby's obviously played the Coventry game, and I was so impressed with him that day. I've been a big fan of his. And today he further confounded and backed up his, deserved ability to be a starting player for Wrexham Football Club, and and give Ollie Palmer a real push for his money. Because I haven't thought Ollie Palmer has been fit. I thought Ollie Palmer has looked a little bit off it lately, and his goal was superb. It looked dangerous. Between him and Mullin, they had fluffed their lines just before it as well, which was so frustrating. But Dolby got his goal, and he took it very, very well. That said, Dorking did get a goal back late on. I think, let me have a look. It was through Mute. And it was against the running play, but it was a cracking header. Rob Layton stood absolutely no chance. And you can't fault Rob Layton. It was one of those headers that I don't think any goalkeeper in the league is getting. It was flicked on into the far corner. Very, very good header. The team in general, though, Wrexham played, was very impressive. We actually looked good when we played football. So at the moment, anybody who watches Wrexham will know that we're going through spits and spurts of we will not play football we'll play long, aimless balls, and then suddenly we'll just start passing the ball around and play in tight areas and in triangles and moving the ball around really nicely. And it was the same today. There were times where we were kicking the ball long and aimlessly, and if you're going to kick it long, you have to aim for Sam Dolby. He was when the ball went to him, he brought it down really well, but too often the ball went nowhere near him. And then the next passage of play, we would, Elliot Lee would get on the ball and he'd look, he'd be like Lionel Messi had rocked up at times. Not on the same talent level, but the way he moves the ball between his feet and gets it past players, I think is very skillful. And, he gets a lot of heat from certain sections of the Wrexham AFC supporters that he probably doesn't deserve. But then I think when there's a little bit of edge among supporters at the moment. But Andy Cannon, impressed, got booked for a dive, and I was sat with a couple of guys today, and sat with my little one, and all of us agreed it was a dive. It was an absolute shocker, and rightly got booked. And I'm pretty sure that was the only yellow card of the game. Let me have a look. Oh no, Luke Young got booked as well. I don't remember Luke Young getting booked. Yeah, I don't remember what Luke Young got booked for. I didn't even know he got booked. So obviously Andy Cannon was a shocking dive, right on the edge of the area. It was one of those, the contact was coming, but he went and he decided to dive instead of take the hit. He should have taken the contact. It would have been a free kick in a very, very dangerous position. But yeah, that's kind of Wrexham in a nutshell. There was a little slight worry with Ben Tozer that concerned, I think, a few of the fans around by me, that with Hayden out and O'Connell was missing again today, not even on the bench, there is a concern that we will be short at centre-back. Hopefully, we'll see O'Connell coming back soon, and it is just a niggle. But credit to Dorking Wanderers, I would say, because they really came to play football. I suppose one thing, having watched a bunch of amateurs, Mark White doesn't set his teams up to defend and nick a point. They try and play football the right way, and they play open football, which is why I think they leak so many goals. They could do with strengthening their defence, and if they stay up this year, he will have done really well, and absolutely more credit to him. Let's have a quick look at the other results, because I am recording this right after full time of the Notts County game, and Notts County have lost 2-1 to Dagenham and Redbridge. That result is absolutely massive, huge, because Dagenham and Redbridge last night sacked their manager. So this is a team that have come into this game managerless, against a team that haven't lost since February last year in the league, at home. They've only lost once all season, which ironically was to Dorking. And they have gone to Notts County and scored 2 fantastic counter-attack goals. Now, I will caveat with saying the referee was shocking, and there is an absolute 100% stonewall penalty on Macaulay Langstaff that isn't given. The referee, they need to look at why he's not given that. Because I think at the start there was a bit of wrestling between the two, and I can see why he, if that carries on, I can see why he doesn't give it. But Langstaff stops that and actually releases the Dagenham and Redbridge defender, who keeps hold. That's the problem. Now, if the referee thinks Langstaff still got hold of the defender, he needs to come out and say this. Otherwise, it looks very suspicious. Not saying he's done it deliberately. I just think it's a very, very, very bad call. And let's be honest, if it went against Wrexham, I'd be seething. I really would. But that now makes Tuesday night for us absolutely massive, because we play Chesterfield on Tuesday night. Chesterfield lost to Oldham today. That is a huge result for Oldham, who now sit 15th, 5 points clear of Yeovil in 21st. So 6 points clear, sorry. But Yeovil do have a game in hand. So, they are not out of it yet. Dorking are now 1 point clear of the relegation zone after today. But again, they sit just above Yeovil, and they are they have a game in hand on them as well. It's going to be interesting. There's not really, a lot to say. One thing I was a little bit disappointed about today is we didn't get to see the new sign, Ryan Barrett. I think he will be Ryan Bonnet. He will be a very good signing and competition for Anthony Ford, who, for me, had his best game today that he's had in absolutely ages. Superb. Really, really superb. So, yeah, I can't praise the Wrexham lads enough. I thought we were absolutely amazing today. Paul Mullin again in the score sheet, but Elliot Lee and Sam Dolby. Sam Dolby, for me, was man of the match. Elliot Lee was fantastic, but Dolby deserved it. Let's go Tuesday. Before I go, I do want to touch on the atmosphere with the fans. There is a palpable tension in the crowd at every Wrexham game at the moment, and there are times when the players are actively encouraging the fans, which it should be the other way. That's not a bad thing. I think Tuesday, for anybody who watches this before Tuesday, if anybody watches it at all, we need to be on it. We need to be loud. We need to be that 12th man, because Tuesday now is massive. Chesterfield are on the worst run of results. Let's have a look. So they lost to Boreham Wood, they lost to Woking, they lost to Notts County, they drew at Aldershot. So they have not. So they drew at Wealdstone today. They were losing. Chesterfield. So Chesterfield have. That was Tuesday. Sorry, they lost to Oldham today. So Chesterfield haven't won a game all month. Let's actually when they arrive on when they get to the ground and when they get out on that pitch on Tuesday, let's make it a hostile atmosphere. Let's get behind the boys. Let's sing our hearts out. And let's really, really kind of, we've got to make it an intimidating ground to come to. It should be an intimidating ground. There's 10,000 people in that ground every week. Let's make sure that we make the noise of 10,000 people. I hope you enjoyed this. This is what this channel is probably going to be now, is a couple of Wrexham videos a week. Make sure you check out the Football Nation podcast as well, where I do that on League Show. That's really, really good. And the Notts County video we did is amazing as well. I've just done an interview over there with Southend fans about their issues, and I wish them all the best for Wednesday, because that is a massive day for them. So if you have enjoyed it, hit subscribe, hit like, and I will see you on the next episode. Up the town. Let's go Wrexham.